Permanent witness state, life after the collapse of ego. What happens when the seeker vanishes? Not for a moment, not during meditation, but permanently. What remains when the ego falls away and the voice in your head, so long your companion, goes completely silent? Tonight we explore the rarest terrain, life after the collapse of ego. The permanent witness state, where there is no longer someone watching, just watching itself, where the mind no longer claims ownership, where actions arise without a doer, where life moves and no one moves it. This is not a bliss state. It is not a trance. It is the end of self-centered experience, and it changes everything. Part 1. Understanding the ego's subtle grip. The ego is not simply arrogance. It is the root structure of separateness. It whispers, "This is mine. This happened to me. I am this name, this body, this role." It is made of memory and resistance, the push and pull of identity trying to control what unfolds. It says yes to what it likes and no to what it fears. And in doing so, it generates constant internal commentary. Most people never question this. They live as this narrator. But when deeper stillness begins to open, you start to see that none of this is you. You watch your thoughts come and go. You feel emotions without becoming them. You sense an unchanging presence beneath it all. This is the beginning of the witness. Part 2. The emergence of the witness. At first, the witness appears like a space behind your experience. You may be sitting in silence, and suddenly you are no longer in the thoughts. You are watching them. There is a gap, not an empty gap, but a vast, alive stillness. This space does not react. It does not judge. It does not get pulled into the storm. It is aware but not entangled. It is present but not personal. And the more you return to it, the more it stabilizes, until one day it becomes the default state. Part 3. When the ego finally falls. The shift into permanent witness is not dramatic. It is not accompanied by flashing lights or cosmic visions. Instead, it is quiet, almost imperceptible. The inner voice fades, the need to comment dissolves, and a deep stillness takes root. Then one day, perhaps brushing your teeth or walking through a grocery store, you notice something strange. There's no one talking inside, no one claiming authorship of the moment, no one projecting themselves into the scene, just awareness, just presence. Life is happening, but not to you. It is flowing, and there is no friction. This is the collapse of ego, not a momentary glimpse, but a permanent shift. Part 4. How life changes in the permanent witness. 1. No more identification. Thoughts come and go, but they are no longer yours. They are like birds flying across an open sky, noticed but not claimed. 2. No more inner narrative. The voice that once explained, defended, compared, goes silent. You stop rehearsing conversations in your head. You stop arguing with imaginary people. 3. Stillness becomes normal. You no longer need to do silence. You are silence. Even while walking, working, or speaking, there is a background stillness that never leaves. 1. You no longer take things personally. Praise and blame pass through like wind through an empty room, not because you are indifferent, but because there's no you to be wounded or inflated. 2. Time softens. You are not obsessed with future or past. The mind does not constantly time travel. There is only now, not as a spiritual idea, but as your lived reality. Part 5. What doesn't change? You still feel. You still experience pain, joy, loss, hunger, fatigue. The body still has its rhythms. The world still moves with chaos and contrast. But now, everything is happening in you, not to you. There is pain, but not suffering. There is effort, but no struggle. There is love, but no possession. Your preferences soften. Your attachments loosen. Your fear of death diminishes, because you see that you were never the one who lived. Part 6. Misunderstandings about the witness state. Many seekers confuse the witness with dissociation. But dissociation is numb. It cuts off from experience. The witness is fully alive, more intimate with life than ever, but not fused with any part of it. Others think the witness is cold or distant, but in truth, it is the most compassionate state. Why? Because it no longer sees through separation. It no longer sees other. It sees only unfolding, only being. There is no agenda, no projection, only deep, effortless inclusion. Part 7. The Sacred Ordinariness of Daily Life. After the collapse of ego, life becomes simple, but not dull. In fact, the ordinary becomes luminous. A bowl of fruit becomes sacred. A child laughing becomes cosmic music. The sound of wind through the trees feels like a divine whisper, because without ego filtering everything, you see directly, without distortion, without expectation. You do not need stimulation. You do not seek drama. You live in attuned presence, and the world reveals its holiness everywhere. Part 8. Why this is not the final step. The witness is profound. It is the beginning of true freedom. But it is not the end. Why? Because there is still a subtle observer, still a sense of I am awareness. Final realization occurs when even this identity collapses, when awareness no longer needs to be aware of itself. There is no subject, no object, just what is. The ocean resting in itself, no longer watching the waves. This is beyond witnessing, beyond presence, beyond being, and yet it is closer than your breath. Mystical reflection. Imagine this. A candle burns. You are watching. Then the flame goes out. You remain. Then the watcher disappears, and only space remains. That space is not blank. It is full of life, full of stillness, and you realize you were never the flame, never the watcher. You were always the space, before identity, after identity, and forever untouched by both. This is life after the collapse of ego, silent, open, real.